But yeah, this is gonna be our top 5 artist ranking. So out of the lovely list of 40 here, we're gonna start ranking our top 5 artists. And actually, we're gonna be doing a little bit of a runners up. So, Gray, why don't you tell me your 2 runners up, and just a short albit of why they never made it.
Yeah. Well, my first runner-up is Penguin Rush. I genuinely love them, and I just haven't dug into them the way that I want. But I love their style. I love like their jazz, and I want to check them more out. So, in the future they'll probably climb, but right now they're second runner-up. And the first runner-up, or yeah, the next runner-up is Aru Al Harumaki. I, I know these guys have been quiet on us, but man, I love them. Like, they're great, and I want to see more from them. So hopefully, we'll get to see some more from them in the future. Like, they're just the best. Or they're one of the betters. They're one of the betters.
And you, Luna?
I'm actually switching one of mine.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that happening.
To be
right
fair,
before
halfway through, like
I'm
all the things, I was like, I kind of want to rearrange a
sorry.
couple, but I'm gonna stick with the ones I have.
I really cannot freaking decide. This is like the hardest decision for me to make.
It's
so
hard. It's hard.
I'm switching two
I
of
could
them.
have easily done like a
so
top 15.
I want to switch another one, but I know I can't because I'm gonna be a total asshole if I do that. So, okay. So I'm just gonna go what I have before I really start switching things and second guessing and all that shit. So my 2 runners up. My first one is Chapman, and I actually really love Chapman, but the only reason he made runner up was because he only has 2 songs. But I love those 2 songs and I want to see more, so I really wanted to put them on there because I think they're extremely talented, and they're one group that I'm so upset they only have 2 songs. So I put them on there as I'm definitely going to keep watching, but I want more. So they can't go up any farther right now. My other one is Ink. Not Ink. My other runner-up is Nekritaki, and as much as I love Nekritaki, I still do want to hear way more from them, and I know we're going to get way more from them, but I'm putting them as my runner-up for now. But this was a hard choice because I kept going between them and another one you'll find out later. So it was very difficult, but I do love them. I want to hear more from them, and I cannot wait to hear more from them, but right now they're my runner-up. They're still new. Super new. Somewhat new.
And you, Rentford?
So my first runner-up, or I guess 7th place for clarity, is Cracklax. I thought they were gonna be higher up, but I guess they just kept getting bumped further and further down by the artists that are further up. I really, like I said, all the reasons why I like Cracklax. I like genre bending. I like slightly more complicated music, so I like all the mathy elements that they provide. But I don't know, I just didn't choose them. I just couldn't put them higher than the other artists in this list, so that's it. And the second runner up, which is 6th place, was Flu. So I guess for a similar reason as Cracklax. So Flu was higher, but they also ended up falling down too. I really like what they do. Just not following the rules, just doing their own thing. Basically, in the structure, in the course of one song, just change in just 1 minute. They go through so many different changes. I appreciate that, but I guess I didn't find their songs like stuck in my head like I did for other artists on this list. So, yep. What about you, Ken?
So number 7 is Syrup, and that is a surprise one to be sure because I actually had him at number 6, and then changes happened. So Syrup is really good. I really like the style. I love all the songs that he has done. However, that damn parrot from Do It Well, I don't know why, but it creeps me the hell out. It's so good, but with Syrup, it's something to keep on the back of my mind. That could change with number 6 also, because then number 6 is Cracklax. I've going through the list here and really listening to all these artists. It made me feel like, good gosh darn, Cracklax has something really, really good. Listening to Motto again, listening to No Goodbye, they have something, and I can't wait to hear more of it. But yeah, let's continue on to our number 5s. Let's start with you, Gray.
So my number 5 group was Boundary. I just love these girls. I love their sound. I think they're very talented, and they still have a pretty small discography, but like what they have is just stellar. And I look forward to hearing more from them. I think they just have a really bright future ahead of them, and a lot of potential too. So I hope that they really catch on. I think that people are missing out if you're not listening to them, because they're just really talented. I love them. So Boundary is going to take my number 5 spot.
And yours, Luna?
My number 5 is actually Ink. And they just have this unique feel to them. And just what they've done with their music is amazing. And Bypass is one of my favorite albums I bought this year, even though it didn't come out this year. And Excess has been one of my jams, and I absolutely love it. I just can't say enough how much I really enjoy their music, and I had to put them at number 5 as they're one of the artists I really look forward to all their latest releases now.
And yours, Rentford?
Who is my number 5? Oh, She Is Summer. Yeah, I kept finding myself listening to She Is Summer over and over. Last week and the week before that, and I really just started to appreciate what I feel is like just a real star quality to the way she sings, right? Like the way she presents herself in her songs and in her videos. And so it was at that point where I just started to realize that I really enjoyed what she does more than just appreciating these songs, thinking they're good, and just thinking that there's a little more to that. So I did want to place her higher, but for the same reasons as my 6 and 7, I just found the top 4, I guess, to be more resonating personally with me. So
yeah, and then my number 5 is gonna actually surprise people. It's Narkotaki. I really did love Narkotaki, and they dropped quite a bit and from my last ranking, but it's just that ever since the release of 1, there are a couple tracks that I've just been looking forward to, but the style of what I've decided to like has changed just a tad bit, which morphed my decisions to put them lower, unfortunately. It's not like they're good, but they're really good, and I'm really, really excited to go see them live, and I can't wait. I honestly can't wait. But everything from top 4 on is, in my mind, just rocked my world for the past 6 months. And with that, what's your number 4 there, Gray?
Yeah, so my number 4 is actually Syrup. Like, this guy's like just been, I don't know, he talk about mind blowing, because like I said, he just, not something I typically listen to, but man, the guy is good, like really good at what he does, and he's just, I look forward to everything that he does. I really liked his 2 EPs. I love his new album. Man, if I had a record player, man, I'd kill to have that thing on vinyl. It's just like that sound would just be insane on vinyl. Like, he's got a really interesting palette for music, and I look forward to what he does next. And he's just a really cool dude, and it's just, yeah, no, Syrup's definitely number 4.
And yours, Luna?
My number 4 is Jungri, and I put her on there because she's an artist I've listened to in her early days with Sony. And then coming back to her now makes me still love her and her change in style. And she's someone, once that physical release comes out, I will be buying it just like I did all her other releases. So, no doubt in my mind, she is an artist. I am super excited for her comeback and to see what she has in store for us. So, and I love her style because I love the piano based with her voice, and it is amazing. She is an amazing singer songwriter. So,
And yours, Renford?
Yeah, so this might be a little bit of a surprise, but my number four is Bright Lucy Television. I know there are only really two songs I have. I actually know three songs I had to base that on, but just everything I've heard is just so charismatic, I feel, right? Like, I really can get behind the narrative of like an artist that I feel really has something special that just hasn't garnered any of the the attention I feel like they deserve yet. And I feel like Bright Lucy Television. Not only did I really love Naked, as the song getting stuck in my head, but like Fumika herself, just she has so much stage presence, right? Like I've seen this video and I've seen a couple live videos that they've had, and just it's such a joy watching them like perform on stage, right? And I so I guess putting them at four is kind of wishful thinking too. Like I like them a lot, but it's also me feeling like I'm I want to give them the value that I feel like they deserve, right? So that's why
Yeah,
Great Lucy
once
Television
I
is my
joined
number
them
four.
to become a keyboardist,
Oh, I guess they'll be
they'll be
number
number
one,
one.
yeah, or they'll be number
Yeah.
zero. You'll ascend past the list, right?
Oh
Yeah.
baby. But yeah, my number four is Shia Summer actually, and you know, I I love every song that she does. Everything she does with the T is really really good. The compositions, the composers that work with her are really really talented and make good use of her skills. But the other top three just I forgot how good she was, honestly, and she was at number five, and I bumped her up to number four because of that. But the the top three was gonna be my top three, and talking about the top three, let's start with you, Gray.
All right, so my number three was Dizzy Sunfist. When we did our first round, I remember Dizzy Sunfist came in at number one for me. And honestly, one and two weren't one and two. Dizzy Sunfist would be number one. But like, I love Dizzy Sunfist. These guys are phenomenal, and I just love everything about them. Like I said, they reignited that spark in me because I had really put punk rock behind me and just kind of forgot about it, and then Dizzy Sunfist comes along and just reignites that spark that I had. And I love their style, I love their music, I love their energy, and I really, like I said earlier, I hope the kid's well. I wish no harm on anybody. But at the same time, please don't be gone too long because I love your music. I love the voice of the lead singer, and I really want more. Their new single "Stronger" is really really good too. I don't think we talked about that earlier, but if you haven't had a chance to check that out, the music videos on YouTube, highly recommend it. It's really good, stellar song. That's my number three.
And yours, Luna?
So my number three is Dream Imi, and she's an artist I followed since Dream, and I remember pre-ordering her debut single right when it came up. And she's an artist I look forward to every single release. I've pre-ordered every single one except Love Fool because that was a harder one to find. It didn't see Japan never got it, but I have literally gotten everything. I love her. I love her style, love her music. She cheers me up. It's this cheerfulness and some of my feel good music. She just puts me in this happy, good place. So I just am so excited for everything she does, and I always look forward to hearing something new. And I know she does like 2 or 3 releases a year, but that's just enough to make me happy. And I'm looking forward to what this year will bring for her in the future.
And yours, Rentford?
Yeah, so my number three is Sona plus Jittery Jackal, and I
Oh,
did not
baby.
expect to rank Sona plus Jittery Jackal this high at all, but I found myself really just falling in love with the release, the album Tellteller in particular. I just feel like the soundscapes here are so varied and they're so rich, and they're like Sona's voice is just perfectly complemented by Jittery Jackal's electronic compositions. Like I guess if you were to compare their sound to Atlantis Airport was a band that they used a lot of electronic elements, but I guess when you have like just MIDI instruments at your disposal, you can create whatever sounds you want. So I feel like there's just so like listening to this album makes me feel so many different things, and I feel like there's so much depth and there's so much detail to everything that's going on, and despite all that, like it just all brings out just how good of a singer Sona is, right? And I knew she was a good singer. I liked her a lot, but I until I heard this release, I didn't really think like you know she was that like anything special. But hearing these two together, oh man, I really want to hear more releases by them. So, my number three.
And my number three is Tender. It's actually a quite surprise because, like I said on my last list, he was dead last, and just since his album hit, along with with Shomara, with that matter, my style of music actually changed of my likes, and Tender decided to climb up there a lot to the point that I'm listening to songs almost daily. Even before we were doing this, just daily. Just Choice is such a good song, and I can't wait for the vinyl release. And he's at number three. He was originally higher too, but then in my hardest of hearts, number one and number two was set. So now he got bumped down to three. And with that, let's go on to our number two.
All right, so my number two, I don't think this will surprise anybody, but my number two is Mad Kid because, I really, really like these guys. I really like their rap style. I do agree that I think they're better when they slow down a little bit, but still, I think what they have works and it works really well. And I listened to in the past month and a half to 2 months, like I've really listened to Mad Kid almost daily, just on repeat, just certain songs I just can't get enough of. And you hopefully we'll see what they do next, but I'm excited for their future, and I can't wait to hear more by them. And that's my number two.
And yours, Luna?
So, my number two might surprise you a little bit. I was going back and forth on my numbers again, but I'm going with Edu.
Oh, wow.
And the reason I chose her is after listening to all her new stuff like Future Waves and it was the title of her new mini album, I was just like, holy crap, I need to go buy this album. And I don't do that too often, like right away, but Makuake was amazing. And I pretty much put an order in for that because once I heard Future Wave and Makuake, I'm like, this girl is more than just on my radar. She is amazing and I want to support her. So I had to add her as my number two because I am looking forward to her stuff right now more than anything. And I think she's going to do fantastic. So I'm excited. I just had to put her as my number two. And I know she doesn't have that much out yet and she's still very new. but she just moved her way into my heart.
And yours, Rentford?
Yeah, my number 2 is Ink. They were always high on my list. I think for all the artists here, they're probably the ones I ended up coming back to the most, even far like way before this podcast was. I mean, this episode was decided. Um, and so yeah, I I really like everything that they do. Um, I I guess I've gotten to a point where I feel like I remember just how a lot of their songs are. Just, I don't need to listen to them. I've listened to them that much, and um, even then, I still want to listen to them more, just because I feel like there's just the songs are so well done that I just want to keep listening to more. There's always something new for me to pick up on that I didn't realize before as a musician. So, yep, that's why they're my number 2.
And we'll baton pass that to me, who is also Ink at my number 2. So, Renfrew, last week we did a mock draft of our top 5,
Yes.
and Ink was number 1 at that time.
Yeah.
And you were surprised why my number 1 was ranked at where I ranked it, and you weren't really surprised at Ink, but when we talk to my number 1, we'll talk about it more. But
Okay.
Ink has something that I truly loved, and like I said before, without them, I probably wouldn't have continued the corners as long as I did. They were good. They inspired me, and everything that they've done, their music is so good. I love every single one of it. I can't wait to get the new album into my hands and listen to it with my ears. Crossing is an amazing song. Axis is such an amazing song. Therefore, Tetra EP is such an amazing EP. Every song produced by them, I just loved. But there's a reason why number 1 is number 1. And we'll get to that eventually. So I think it's at my number 2. So why don't we continue on to our last number 1 here. Our number 1 artist in the top 40 list. Gray, why don't you go first? I kind of have an inkling of who it is.
Yeah, well, it's funny because we talked about this, and I was like, I may not include them because, I want to talk about somebody else, but you were like, well, be true to yourself. So, so I took your advice. So you have yourself to thank for this.
No. I knew that this was gonna happen, but I wanted you to be true to yourself because if that's the case, I only have 8 artists to choose from.
Oh, well, that's fair. But yeah, LOL is indeed my number 1. Just, fell in love with them last year. They're still outstanding. I actually haven't been listening to them as much lately, because I just got the new Color Creation album, and that thing's just taken over my life. But, when I get tired of that album, which I don't know, that may not be anytime soon because that album's insane. But I'll get back to LOL sometime soon, and I still love these guys. They're really great. I really liked pop, and they really pushed me over the edge of loving pop. So yeah, these guys are outstanding. I'm looking forward to what is the name of the new single? I don't even remember. I'm a bad fan. But the new single with DJ Koo. Whenever that's what. August 10th, something like that. July 31st. So when that comes out, I will be giving you my thoughts and opinions. So be looking forward to that. But yeah.
Well, if you don't know, it's available digitally right now.
I didn't know. Man,
Yeah.
I got a phone notification earlier for a Ayumi Hamazaki compilation album. And I've only downloaded 3 songs of Ayumi Hamazaki. I've downloaded everything in existence. Okay, I'll check it out. I don't even have my phone with me in the room, so As soon as we're done, I will be on that. Like you won't believe. But yeah, LOL is my number one, and I love these guys. So
And Luna, what is your number one?
So my number one is Hidomi. Big surprise. I love her. I've loved her since I heard a lot of her digital songs on MySpace, which have never gotten a physical release, unfortunately. And no doubt she's still one of my top favorite artists. And I think she'll always hold a place in my heart, even though it's actually been a little while since she's had a physical or digital release. I always look forward to more of her music, and hands down, I support her whenever she releases something. I have to buy my copy, and I just adore her. Her voice really is a rainbow voice. I mean, just the power, the way she can control her vocals. She never ceases to amaze me in her music, and just her lyrics alone too have inspiration to me in many of her songs. So I can't say enough about her, and I love spreading the word about her, especially since she's not well known, I feel like, and I want to really introduce people to her. So she's always gonna be one of my number ones.
And your number one.
Oh, my number one is Baby. Oh no, not Babysitter. My number one is Chapman. Yes, my number one is Chapman. I know they only have 2 songs that I've heard, but really, like, I'm Just the Kind Man is like maybe
Oh,
the best song I've ever heard in my life, maybe. So that's how much I like it. That's how much I like it. And for a similar reasoning, as for choosing Bright Lucy Television for number 4, I just, I really feel like these guys deserve so much more than they have right now. They have, like, if creating like a good song is so hard. Like, you can create a song that people like get stuck in their head, but to create a song that just really impacts you in a deep level, right? That you just really reaches into the depths of your soul. Like, that's like a true work of art. And like, I feel like if anyone is able to make any song like that reaches out to anyone, and all these artists on this list have, or most of the artists on this list have, like, a song that has impacted at least one person in the world that way, right? So they're all artists, right? But yeah, for me, that's what This Is a Kind Man. I'm Just a Kind Man did for me. Like, it's just a masterpiece of a song in my mind, and because of that, they're number one.
And so, my number one is Ghost Like Girlfriend. It's not really a surprise for you, Rentford, because when we initially did this list, Ghost Like Girlfriend was number 3. No, it was number 4, number 4 or 5, I think, if I remember correctly. And with Ghost Like Girlfriend, the songs that he made. Want Like Lover, I listen to every day. Every day, right in the morning, I listen to On the Spot, right, every day. His songs just spoke to me, honestly, and I was debating really, really hard, because I really do like Ink. I really, really do like Ink, but Ghost Like Girlfriend has brought something that, I just love. The rock style, everything, the fusion, everything. It's just the next step of what my music taste has become now, and I'm not gonna run away from that. It's Ghost Like Girlfriend is an amazing project, and one day I will see you live. Die trying. But yeah, hopefully you guys are still awake. So we'll be hopefully you liked this episode. I know we ran really really long, and you guys probably wouldn't notice this because I would have split it up into 3 different segments by then, but hopefully you guys really do like what we did. We really really appreciate you guys coming to our corners articles. It's something that's really important for the website and something of a mission statement for us as a site in general, and because we want to introduce new music to everyone, and I truly believe that the corners are a way to help that, right?
Yes, definitely,
Yes. No, I
definitely.
completely agree.
So, you know, most of our most popular things are from the corners. It is Night Karitaki, to be perfectly honest. And we're actually number 1 on their list in Google search. So thank you for that.
We're number 1 in English for a couple of artists, actually.
I was gonna say, what were the other artists that were number 1 in
Gosh,
English for?
Most
I
definitely.
don't remember.
Are we number 1 for Bright Lucy Television?
Probably, yeah, definitely Bright Lucy Television, definitely Sonia plus Yuri Jackal, definitely all the stuff that it doesn't get a lot of coverage, like Sweet Sweet Sweets. Who else? Like Chapman, Grated Parmesan Cheese,
Yes.
Mosaic Arts. Yeah, I think we, in doing all the research for this episode, I actually was surprised to find that a good number of these artists have not been covered in English by anybody else. So, I mean, the rest have, right? So, but yeah.
But yeah, I want to thank you guys for joining us on this episode. I want to thank all 3 of you for roughing it out, because behind the scenes here, we're running on 5 hours pretty closely. So, thank you guys for doing all this. And, it was very important for us to do this episode because I really do love doing the corners. Corners help me explore new music as much as I might hate it or not. It's always something new.
Well, it also gives us an opportunity. Like, I would not be listening to Syrup right now if it wasn't for you. So thank you. Thank you very much.
Yay.
And I wouldn't be listening to Eddie if it wasn't for you either. And Discover Chapman.
Yeah, I wouldn't have listened to any of the people on this list because I didn't write any music corners. So, so thank you to everybody. Thank you to everybody, for all 40 weeks of hard work. It was a journey for me to listen to everybody, and I feel like I've come out better because of it. So thank you from the bottom of my heart to all 3 of you, Gray, Luna, and Ken. Thank you.
And thank you for listening and following us. So, and joining us.
Yes.
Always a pleasure. Always a pleasure.
So I wonder how long our 60th artist is gonna be.
You mean our 100th, right?
Our 100 artist breakdown. We have 12 hours, right?
Yeah.
We'll do it on Twitch.
We'll just, take the day off.
Yeah, we'll do it live.
Starting with artist 1.
Yeah. Start with Emerald. What the hell happened? But yeah, I want to thank you guys very much. Like I said beforehand, we're going to probably break this up into 3 different parts, so you probably will know when the breaks happen. But I want to thank you guys for listening to this week's episode of Ongaku to You. You can find us at all the lovely social medias at Ongaku to You on Instagram and Twitter. You can find us on the site at ongakuryou.com, where you can find all the lovely corners and all our lovely breakdowns of these introductions for these 40 artists, if you want to see it in written form and see how bad grammar is, in my opinion, for us. And then you can check out our affiliates. Koryu Hunter. He's a Japanese Twitch streamer and our good friend and our living mailbox. He should be coming home pretty soon. You can check him out at twitch.tv/Koryu Hunter, KYORYUHUNTER. You can also find our other affiliate, Timber Taft. He's a Twitch streamer and singer in his own right. And you can find him at twitch.tv/TimberTaft, TIMBERTAFT. You can find me on Twitter at OTYKen1. Where can we find you, Rentford?
You can find me on Twitter as well at Rentford, RENTFORDD.
And where can we find you, Gray?
You can find me at Ongaku Gray, where I tweet about what I'm listening to.
And Luna?
You can find me at LunaMaria87 on Twitter and Nerdy Collector Luna on Instagram.
And once again, thank you for coming on, Luna, because we missed you for the past, how many weeks?
Been a good 3.
I know. I've missed everyone too. It's been a couple weeks. Let's just say that. A lot of things going on.
Yeah. But yeah, we'll be whole once again. But yeah, I want to thank you guys for listening to this week's episode of Ongaku. I'm your host, Ken, and saying thank you very much, and have a great day. Aloha.
This is Luna signing off. I hope everyone has a great rest of your week. Jamate ne.
Why don't you go ahead and sign off, Rentford?
Okay, this is Rentford. In fashion at the Japanese schools. Thank you, and see you.
And this is Gray. We'll see you next time.